Hello, in this quick tutorial, I want to share with you a digital tracker that I digitized from some excellent trackers that I saw at Wando High School in Charleston County in South Carolina. So for this tracker, we're using the tabs down here at the bottom, directions, math, reading, writing. You can add behavior. You can add anything you want here, right? I want to focus first on the directions tab. And I'm just going to go through it. And of course you can read, but sometimes it's just easier to listen. So it says, after setting up your copy of this template using directions below, share this out for students to make or get their own copy. This can be done through Google Classroom or Otis or whatever LMS you're using. You want to have access to all of them for regular checkups. So step 1, look over all the tabs to see if they are set up in a way your student will benefit. Delete any tabs that don't apply to your grade level or content or students, and then duplicate tabs you like for topics which are not present. So let's go over how to duplicate. Let's just say that you like the way this math is set up and you teach science and math. You can click on this arrow right here and you can choose duplicate. And once you duplicate, it's automatically going to be called copy of whatever, which one you duplicated, right? So you can click on the arrow here and choose rename, or you can just double click on the tab and then you can call it science. Okay? So that's how you can duplicate. I'm going to go back to the directions. Number 2, have students put their name in row 1 and have them type their personal goal in row 2. So I'm going to click back on math so you can see here's row 1 and here is row 2. So they're going to erase where it says student name. So you have to double click to be able to edit this cell. And so they can double click and then they can delete it. And this can be John's digital tracker. And then right here in 2, this is where they are going to write their goal. So where it says write this goal here, and this is actually in row 3, they can click, double click, and they're going to highlight and delete. And then the goal for this unit might be, and this is math. John might say that he wants to be able to, I will be able to multiply fractions. Okay? And then he'll be able to track whether or not he can do it. Now, the goal here really should be based on learning targets and standards, but just as an example so you can see. And you have to make sure you hit enter after you are typing in a spreadsheet cell. All right, I'm going to go back to the directions. For number 3 here, it says save 5 minutes at the end of each rotation or class to walk students through how to use it and make sure they have enough time to complete the tracker properly. So this is on teachers, right? If you don't make time for it, it's not going to get done. So it's super important that you stop and that you say to the kids, okay, 5 minutes for your tracker, and they all go into the tracker and they track how much they got done, etc. You want to adjust time as needed for your level of students. So if you find out 5 minutes isn't enough, then you want to lengthen it. If you find out 5 minutes is too much because they're getting into trouble, then you want to shorten it. Consider starting this on paper first to limit learning new technology and new tasks at the same time. So all you would need to do is print one of these out and do it for 1 to 2 weeks so the kids get used to filling it out and you get used to the, routine, and then you can transfer it to technology. Number 4, if you share this out via Google Classroom, you already have access to all of the trackers and they'll be saved in a folder for you. because you would share it out as an assignment, and then within that assignment you would choose make a copy for each student, and then once you do that, that assignment is automatically created inside your Google Classroom folder, and then all of the kids trackers will be in that folder for easy access for you. All right. Use the commenting feature or suggestion mode to leave comments for students that are motivating and encouraging, and address any issues that might arise with lack of completion or dishonest tracking. It happens. It's not a big deal. You just deal with it. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to the math tab just so that we can have a quick walk through this. Now, I'm going to zoom in. And the way this works is the students are completely responsible for this themselves. They put the date down, and then they say what they worked on today. Okay, this is telling time, so this would have been a younger, much younger student. And then let me zoom out so that I can move over. Today I learned, and they can put one big takeaway from the activity, or I understand that. Now, of course, little guys who are learning time can't type like this. This is just a simple example, right? So they might say, I understand now the big hand measures minutes and the small hand measures hours, right? So it doesn't have to be anything mind-blowing. Whoops. Okay, now, these three columns that are colored, green and yellow, work ethic, you've got excellent, okay, or poor. The student is judging himself. Growth, excellent, okay, or poor. Use of time, excellent, okay, or poor. This is all editable. So this could be chosen by the teacher in the beginning, but eventually it's going to be important for the student to decide what he wants to improve upon. I also want to show you that if I chose a 1, which is poor, the color comes up red. So this is conditionally formatted so that no matter what, whether you choose a 1, a 2, or a 3, it's automatically going to color for you. Okay? Now this is a really nice visual so that as the student fills in, it might be a 2 and then he might be all 3s, so that's really nice. Or he might find that, oh, he's having trouble, he doesn't feel like he's growing. So that could be a heads up for the teacher. Use of time, maybe I wasted some time there, right? And so it's a nice visual for what needs to be worked on. Now, this is super important. Next time I need to, or to do better I will, to continue succeeding I will. This is the reflection column. It's automatically built in. So the student is asked to think about whether or not he did a good job and what needs to be done, okay? This could also be used as, what are my next steps? Which is not a reflection as much as it is a planning for the next class, so that students don't need to figure out at the beginning of every class, what did I do? It's just a waste of time.